I'm Zach.
I'm Maxwell.
And this is Car Chronicles.
And today we have the 2013 Infiniti QX 56. Woo! So quick styling things, it looks good. I can't talk. It looks great. You got a nice vent there, some good wheels, and we're freezing our hands off. So that's about all, folks.
Yeah, these are really huge wheels, actually. I think they're 22 inches. They're
probably a good call.
They're pretty huge, and they're black, which is dope. You got the camera coming out the front here.
Always
this
a good call.
has 360 top-down view, so whenever you're backing up, you get all that good stuff. This is obviously one of the bigger rides that this is the biggest car that we've reviewed, and you're definitely going to tell once we're driving it how
it's not a handler necessarily,
it's not quite that,
but it's quick.
It is really quick. Why don't we go ahead and start her up?
Alright, so this has a 5.6 liter V8 making 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. Let's hear how it sounds.
Okay, so we're ready to hit the road, but first, seat belts. First thing is always first, as I always say.
Always last.
So we're ready to back up, and as you can see here, there's a really cool backup camera. We got the lines that line up with parking spots. The 360 view, which is really cool. You can see I'm backing up.
You can change the view.
Yeah, you got the
side view, wide view, wide view, wide view, wide view. But we like that top
view. The 360 view is really cool, and what it does is it gets it from all around you, from each door, and it just compiles it together. That's a cool thing.
So when you first start this car up,
wait, are we gonna?
The engine is on. That's about it. This doesn't really have a sport or comfort mode or anything like that.
Yeah, this is a 2013, as he mentioned. It's a luxury SUV. It's really only got one mode. You can put it in manual, where you can change the gears you're in. You flip the gear shifter to the left, and then you put it in manual mode. You flip it up to shift up, and it didn't let me because we were going a little too slow. Downshift, pull it back towards you. Upshift, push it forward. Pretty neato.
So this car has a really nice center stack right down the middle here. Covered in wood, aluminum trim, got a clock here, which is always a good touch. Nice analog clock.
Elegant looking.
Great elegant placement.
The gear shifter is all surrounded by metal, which looks really nice, I think.
Got the navigation, which is pretty good graphics, honestly, for 2013.
Yeah, and this console right here, you have the map, and then you have the radio. It's got a lot of really cool features. There's
like you can put in the disc and record the tracks.
Yeah,
and then just come back and listen to them.
You can record tracks even that are playing on the radio. And there's a cool thing where it'll learn what you like to listen to, and it'll tell you if there's a song playing on a station, and then it'll say, "Do you want to switch to this song? It's playing on this station." A lot of really cool features that come with this ride.
So obviously, in typical Car Chronicles style, we're gonna take this thing out, put it through the ringer, hang it, torture it maybe.
Torture it?
No, but we're gonna do, you know, acceleration, braking, see how it handles a little bit, and just go over overall drivability.
So right off the bat, it's cold outside.
It's cold as...
We do have heated seats, seated heats.
And I've got my butt really warm right now. Had it warm the whole time.
And also a cool thing is a steering wheel heater. It warms up really fast, and it gets pretty warm. If you don't have gloves on, it's really cool.
Which neither of us do. Our fingies are very cold.
It is cold out. Okay, so visibility. Pretty big windshield, pretty wide side mirrors. Obviously, it's a little trickier out the back. It's a pretty small rear window, and since it's a much longer SUV than the other coupes and sedans, couple convertibles that we've reviewed, it is a little bit trickier to see out the sides.
I mean, you could hide a small building in one of those blind spots.
It's quite a tricky blind spot, and since it's a 2013, they don't have all the blind spot monitoring and stuff that the newer Infinitis do. But we're about to see the old V8 kick in, 400 horsepower.
It does sound pretty good.
It sounds really good.
Great four-banger sound. times two,
of course.
So we're about to do a little brake test to see how it does. Everything went flying.
Not too bad.
Not the best brakes I've ever felt.
Not the best, but not too bad since we are a very heavy ride.
Very heavy ride, and it's not a performance vehicle whatsoever.
Exactly right. But, brakes could use a little work. They're actually probably a little old too, so...
The brakes don't work.
They don't work at all, is what I'm trying to say. Already on these aren't really sharp corners, but
sharp.
This one is right here. You can definitely see us
sloshing about.
A little bit of trouble. This is very high off the ground and doesn't quite hug those corners as well as the other ones do.
Now we're coming up to some tight corners. Let's see how the old house does.
We have some boxes in the back, and you can probably tell they are sloshing about.
They're squirming about like a dying ant. Like a dying ant.
Like a dying ant.
Here we go. Here's a good one right here. Good call. Yeah, so the engine, it's a very powerful ride, but that power goes a lot this way whenever you are trying to...
A lot of inertia.
Corner like that. Still, overall, it's not bad. It's not uncomfortable.
It's very comfortable. Not the best handler though.
As a passenger,
it's pretty nice. I've got my heated seat going. Got these nice leather seats. Couldn't think of the word there.
Leather butt putters.
I'm sliding around a little bit because this is not a performance vehicle. And everything else is sliding around.
Sloshing around in the back.
But coming up here pretty soon, we'll see what it feels like to rip it.
To accelerate. And this thing goes right off the start. It's four-wheel drive also, so
we're going to launch it. Alright, so we're coming up to the spot where we like to do our little accelerations, so let's let it rip, Zach.
Hold on to your hats is what I want to say. We're going to go ahead and pull out and start at 0. See if we can't get a few revs before we launch it. Oh, we got someone coming behind us.
So that means... That's pretty fast.
It's a quick ride for sure. All that torque and horsepower really goes right to your head.
It's quick though. It's the most powerful car we've ever reviewed. I don't know if it's quite the fastest because it weighs a lot, but it definitely throws you back.
We're not gonna do this here, but I have taken this car very quick, upwards of 100 miles an hour. Don't tell my dad. But it gets there really fast, and whenever you're up there cruising, it does not feel like anything. It feels like you're going 25 miles an hour. The engine is real quiet, and it's not really wobbly or anything. It feels like it's just another walk in the park.
So one thing to note about this car is that it'll blow your eardrums out. It's got a nice Bose sound speaker system.
It actually
doesn't
get quite
loud enough until you turn it on. But once you turn it on, it's pretty good.
Yeah, the quality is really good, and as we're not going to mention, we just mentioned it.
As we're not going to mention?
As we're not going to pop in the, oh, actually we are, aren't we?
What?
You want to pop in the back and just kind of get a feel for being a passenger?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
As well. Okay, so, dude, not right now.
No, we're doing it right now.
All right. Maxwell's going to hop over in the back. This is an SUV. It's not really meant to carry 1 or 2 people.
It's not really legal.
As you can tell, Maxwell is squirming on in the back to see how it feels like to be a passenger. And he's gonna take advantage of these 2 screens back here. You can watch movies and all kinds of stuff on these 2 TVs.
Dude, 50 Shades of Grey.
I left that one in there.
Okay.
All right, Maxwell.
Back seat space is really good. I've got probably a foot of leg room, which is always a good touch.
Very nice touch.
I like those nice touches. But it's very spacious. I would definitely see myself going on long road trips in this thing. You know, you got your cup holders back here, which open up a little slow. Good center armrest with some storage.
There's quite a bit of room. There's a storage on the top of that center console, and there's storage down here on the bottom. A whole nother. There's quite a bit of storage.
Some nice used Kleenexes in there.
Even the doors have quite a bit of room down there where the cup holders are. It's pretty good back seats, I think.
All right, back into the front where the business gets done.
As I always say.
Okay.
We're gonna do another acceleration pull once we get out of the way of this truck and get on a straighter path.
All right, one last little acceleration.
Okay.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, we got up pretty quick. Really, it feels faster than it actually is. Because once you hit the gas, the suspension in the back kind of goes down, the suspension in the front kicks up, so it feels like you're going way fast. Yeah, it pushes back, as you can tell, pretty crazily.
All right, so final thoughts. It's very comfortable as a passenger. I would definitely want to be in this vehicle for a trip. Driving thoughts?
Driving is... It's really fun, actually, because you have a lot of power, and since it's a really big ride, you know, it's kind of fun just to feel powerful, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of that thing where you're high off the ground. You get to look over everything. It feels really nice to drive. There's not a whole lot of feeling through the steering wheel. It's really light. You can whip it around like crazy. Of course, don't, because you'll flip over. But there's really minimal feeling through the steering wheel. And there's no sport mode or anything, but the mode it's got is really well. Works really nicely. The steering wheel feels nice. I don't know if I said that. It's all leather all around. Feels really nice. I had the warmer on. And of course, as you know, that 400 horsepower
kicks you right in the tush.
She goes pretty fast.
But thank you guys so much for watching.
Shout out to my dad who let us drive this car. It's his car. Thank you for that.
Stay tuned for other videos. See you later.